Let me say from the beginning that I support the efforts of Invisible Children to raise awareness about what's taking place in a region of the world that many people don't know about. I know people can go back and forth about the politics of an organization and whether the strategy that they're using is the correct one, but at the end of the day, it is important for people to be frustrated, who are frustrated, to get up and do something. One of the main issues that I have, however, is that as we raise awareness about issues like Kony, the LRA, other rebel groups, we can't get caught up in focusing on the evil that the individuals are doing. We have to focus on what we're for as opposed to what we're against. Case in point, my father, who was a political prisoner in Congo for many years, suffered under the brutal dictatorship of Mobutu Sese Seko. In all of my life as an activist raising awareness for Congo, I can never picture myself wearing a Mobutu t-shirt. I would wear a picture of my father or a picture of Patrice Lumumba or some other activist. Similarly, for those who are fighting against the apartheid movement in South Africa, I can never see myself wearing a P.W. Botha shirt. Or for people who are dealing with the issue of repression throughout Southern Africa, I couldn't see myself wearing an Ian Smith shirt. No, what we were doing, we were putting up posters of people like Nelson Mandela and Chris Hani and the freedom fighters. Mother Teresa is known to have said, "I'll never attend an anti-war rally, but only a pro peace rally." And particularly for younger activists out there, young upstanders, it's very important that as we grow and get older and get caught up in these campaigns, that we really focus on the positive side. If we focus on building the heroes up, we'll become more inspired as it relates to our movements. I personally, if I'm going to wear a t-shirt, I'm going to wear a t-shirt that has a picture of the young person Jacob from the Invisible Children's video as opposed to Kony, because Jacob is a hero. That's somebody who needs to be celebrated. We need to focus our energy and efforts around positivity. And I know the rapper Lloyd Banks said, "Forget being positive because negativity spreads faster," but we've made some good progress over the years in doing this. And in this reality show world, in this YouTube world, we understand what it means making people famous, but we also have to realize that making people famous gets people attention for the wrong reasons. And as we know, a video like this could also make someone like Kony more unstable and commit more acts of violence. But really, at the end of the day, Invisible Children has a very good intent behind this message. My concern is that going forward, those who get exposed to this particular video and are learning about this for the first time may start to develop a philosophy of, let's just make these guys famous. But we have to really start thinking about, after we capture Kony, we have to start thinking about policy. And that's what I hope people who are learning more by watching this video will do, because the fact of the matter is, Uganda doesn't manufacture guns. Congo doesn't manufacture guns. These guns are getting on the ground. They're coming from places that are, they have support for, a lot of these rebel movements have support from Western governments, whether it's places in France, whether it's entities in the United States. Some of the armies that were trained by the United States broke off and became rebel groups in different parts of Eastern and Central Africa. So more guns on the ground in Eastern and Central Africa is never a solution. But my hope is that this campaign will help raise that type of awareness, because most of us got involved in international affairs work because we saw a Peace Corps commercial, or we saw a picture of what's happening in a place like Argentina and just had to go and get involved. So Invisible Children did a great job of taking advantage of one of the greatest tools to raise awareness, which is social media. My hope is that as other people begin to get informed, they'll make sure they keep their focus on the eyes of the prize, and the prize is celebrating our heroes, using the actions of our great heroes to call for more justice and demand more. But I commend Invisible Children, because a lot of people sat around and talk a good game, but Invisible Children did something. And whenever you do something, there are always going to be some flaws, there are going to be some positives and negatives, but we do know, as Sam Horn said, that no one can ride your bandwagon when it's parked in the garage. So if there are people out there with critiques, get out there and start your campaign, or let's figure out ways to help raise more awareness about your campaigns, about what's taking place in places like Uganda and Congo. We're all going to make a change if we all work together as opposed to condemning each other, because we can condemn each other all day, but that's not going to stop any killing, any slaughters, any murders, any rapes, any brutalization that's taking place in areas like Central Africa. We need to get together and get coordinated action. Let's upstand for the people of Uganda, for the people of Congo, for the people of Myanmar, and all across the globe by working together as opposed to tearing each other apart. Because when we tear each other apart, the rebel armies and those supporting them will continue to win.